Hey everyone, my name is Greg West. In addition to being a software engineer, I'm also a musician. And the problem I'm trying to solve with this app is whenever I want to go see some new live music, maybe discover a band, there's not a lot of good options for just seeing like what's local in your area, near you, and convenient. For me, like there's LA Weekly or whatever city you're in, like has a publication like that, which isn't super comprehensive. And it definitely isn't specific to like your area. And then there's also like the larger promotional companies like Golden Voice or Ticketmaster that just send you blast emails that aren't personalized and will have like a bunch of bands you've maybe never heard of or like aren't really interested in. And so this app, Local Gigs, solves that problem of discovering music that's nearby and convenient for you. So I'll give you a little walkthrough of the app. So this is the main landing page, and you don't have to be signed in. Any user can just use this main feature of the app, and you'll see these pins all represent gigs. So if I click on a pin here, you can see the name of the artist and the venue and the date and time, and you can click on this link, and this link will take you to a show page, which has a bio of the band, and it'll have the address of the show. And then you can also click on the name of the artist, and it'll take you to the artist show page where you can check out their Spotify and check out their music and also see an index of all their events. And you can get to one of the, that was the same page, that's fine. You can get to a different page. I really like this Spotify feature, and we can click this and we can go listen to Wilco. And I like this feature because I don't want to like just go to a show just because it's near me. I want to check out the music first and like vet the band, because like if they suck, I don't want to go commit to going out, dressing up, going out during a pandemic and seeing some music unless it's like really awesome. So I like that feature. That's like really good for like the discovery aspect of this. So that's most of the features of the app. Let me log in and take you to the main feature, which is creating an event. So you have to be logged in to do this. And so we'll go to new event, and this is our create an event page. On here, there's a venue search, which is going to ping the Yelp API. And there's two different endpoints that come into play here. So let's see, I'll type forum, and then I'll hit search, and I'll get back 5 different options. The top one is the one that I want. So this venue search is getting back an array of data, which I'm limiting to 5, because oftentimes you'll search and you'll get back like a huge list from Yelp. So limiting that to the top 5, and then I'll hit choose venue. I select the forum, and let's make a show on New Year's Eve, 10 p.m. And put a flyer in here. And let's see, I'm playing the forum because things are going really well for me. And the forum's a big venue in LA, by the way. It's where the Lakers played in like the 1980s. And now it's mostly music shows. So this is going to route us to our event page. But more importantly, if we click events and go back, we'll see in Inglewood here. This pin wasn't there before. And this is going to be the show at the forum. Also, this list here is ordered by date. So if we go all the way to the bottom, because I made that on New Year's, we'll see that show here in this list as well. So I'd like to talk a little bit about under the hood, how this Yelp venue search is working. So first, on the front end, I have this search venue. And what I'm doing is I'm using the Axios library to send a GET request to the Yelp API. I'm allowing the user to pass in a venue, and I'm manipulating that data a little bit, remove some white space. And then I'm getting back an array. And here I'm using this JavaScript method slice to just give the user an option of the top 5. And then importantly here, the choose venue is going to store the Yelp venue ID as a param, which when we hit submit and run the create method, we're going to take that user venue ID. That's the first endpoint. And then we're taking that. And then on our event model, we have a Yelp venue method, which is going to take that Yelp venue ID and use it to get all this data about a single venue. So we're going to get the ID, name of the venue, this is the address, and then importantly here we get the coordinates. And we're going to take those coordinates and put those on the map on the events index. So this was the next kind of big piece. And right here, we have this Axios GET request. We get the events data, and then we have an instantiation of our map. And right now, this app has it hard coded to Los Angeles. So a nice to have feature I'd like to add later is allow the user to pass in the zip code and put the map wherever the user is. And then we're going to loop through the events. And for each event, we're going to make a pop-up and we're going to set those latitude and longitudes to where that event is. One of the challenges here was I really wanted the user to be able to click a link on the pin. And that was kind of tricky because you can't use a vbind in JavaScript. So there's this set HTML JavaScript method that we can apply to pop-up data. And then that allows us to use an A tag here. And that allowed me to put that hyperlink there, which was a little tricky piece there. Another tricky part of this was had to do with the Vue.js lifecycle. And I had this whole map box instantiation and pins in a mounted section, which isn't here anymore. And the way it's supposed to work is the creative section gets run first, and then the mounted section should run after. But because I was retrieving a bunch of API data, this creative function was actually taking a few seconds, and the mounted section was like not waiting, even though like all the docs said creative runs first and then mounted runs, but it didn't happen that way. So the easy fix, which didn't seem so obvious at first, was just simply put everything created, because when the DOM gets rendered, everything created is just going to go from top to bottom. So then I finally magically got my pins to appear, but that was a little tricky moment. So I learned like so much and synthesized a lot of information that I was like, we were learning in such rapid pace through the bootcamp, and then doing this project was like really great practice. Just learning, relearning everything as we were doing. Also just like using pair programming, talking to Danny, just bouncing ideas off of our classmates was super helpful to figure stuff out, because coding in a vacuum is definitely not the way to do it. This project and everything else we've done has been proof of that. Teamwork is the best work. Also decomposing problems that seem daunting and just breaking things down into little pieces that are digestible, that you can figure out how to get stuff done. Yeah, and it was a pleasure to make this project, and there's a bunch of features I want to add to it. So I'm going to use this as a fun little like add-on to keep pushing to GitHub and adding new features to this project, like allowing user more dynamic for users to be at whatever location. Yeah, so that's my project. Hope you guys liked it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Greg. Greg, you're like the poster child for like what I want people to learn at Actualize right now.